Welcome back everyone. Now today's video is going to be a continuation of the previous video. If you haven't watched it yet, please pause the video now and go watch it. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. Although if you don't want to, that's probably just fine. This video will stand on its own, I'm sure. And now, get ready because we're starting out with the Patriarchy, which as we all know is basically my calling card.
Men disrespect women, but all men have privilege in our society.
That's right, all men have privilege, and you want to know why? Wait for it. Wait for it.
The patriarchy.
The patriarchy.
Oh my god. I'm never getting this image out of my head.
Theory. Isn't that just there to punish men for being male?
Okay, look, everybody knows that feminists do not use patriarchy to punish men for being males. They use it to justify punishing men for being males.
Patriarchy.
Well, gosh, everyone, it looks like it's time for another definition, ha!
A system of society or government in which men hold the power and women are largely excluded from it.
Oh, I see. All the women's have been excluded from positions of power. All of them laws and restrictions put on the women's to stop them from getting positions of power. I do declare, Mr. Patriarchy.
It's not about condemning you for your gender, obviously. It's like I just said, men hold the power. That may not be directly your fault, Brad, as a male.
That's right. You see, it's not my fault, and it's not your fault, that most positions of power happen to be occupied by men. It's no one person's fault that the majority of women just simply do not want to pursue these positions of power. Seriously, have you ever heard of a woman going for a position of power and having been told no, they can't have it because they're a woman?
But it is probably something you benefit from without realizing it.
That's right. Some men have wealth and power, and I also happen to be a man, which makes me fantastic. Now give me my prize for other men having wealth and power. Yeah. Come on, just give it to me. Yeah, give me those privileges. What? You mean I don't get anything? But she said I got something out of it. I mean, where's my benefits? Where's my benefits? She says there are benefits. Where are they?
That's why we say down with the patriarchy and not down with all men. We're not trying to take away all the men and put the women in power. Why would that be a good idea ever?
I don't know why some people would want to do this, but since you keep on saying we, perhaps you should tell your fucking homies to stop trying to do that.
But sexism doesn't exist in Western society anymore.
Said no one ever. And quite frankly, I happen to find that most feminists I have met turn out to be the biggest sexist people I have also met.
We have equal rights. I disagree. Society is still beneficial to men, whether that's to do with women being condemned for their sexual activity or lack of it.
Firstly, this is not a huge problem. It doesn't run rampant as you would have us believe. Secondly, this also affects men. Thirdly, what benefits do you think that men get from the sexual condemnation of women?
Or women being viewed as undesirable when they're old and not worth listening to when they're young.
Holy shit, are you serious? You're gonna try to shame me for not finding old women desirable? Fuck you. And for that second part, all young people get dismissed easily because of their lack of experience and knowledge. It's not a sexist problem against the women's.
Women being catcalled and abused by men. I'm not saying men don't suffer from these issues as well, but they do root from a sexism deeply ingrained in our society.
That's right, I recognise that these problems also happen to men, but I just don't give a shit because, well, men don't have vaginas.
Where women are the objects of men or they're there to please men. I feel like the reason a lot of men think sexism doesn't exist anymore is because it doesn't affect them, at least directly.
Holy shit, there is no way that you are intentionally this stupid. Seriously, do you have to wear one of those little helmets when you go out and play with the other children? Do your parents still hide the scissors and sharp objects from you? Oh my god. Look, I'm not trying to be mean, but do you honestly think that men are never objectified? Do you think that they never feel the direct impacts of sexism against them from women? What world do you live in, woman?
But it's so important to remember that sexism should be intersectional. And it's not just about Western feminism or white feminism. There are women of racial minority groups, trans women, women in less developed countries who have different and often more prominent issues.
You see, I find the concept of intersectionality in the feminist movement to be laughable. While you idiots are in a contest of who can be the most oppressivist ever, everyone else is worried about problems of people. Not the black people, not the white people, not the women's, not the men's. They're worried about humans with problems. We don't calculate in someone's blackness or their femininity when we consider dealing with their problems.
But doesn't feminism just emphasize the differences between men and women? It, like, divides us. I don't think it emphasizes a difference in us as humans. It's more a difference in social and legal rights.
Yeah, please, you know what, I dare you. Please, bring up the non-anecdotal evidence of the social and legal disparities between men and women.
And in fact, I think it should do the opposite of dividing us. It should bring us together. Equality.
You know what? Screw it. Let's get into this equality thing through feminism. Oh my dear man, won't you go and be equal with her? Here in this land of feminism, down beneath the birds. Equality between you and me. Although we've already had was here, you see. Oh God, it's all just a trap. Runaway crap.
Personally, I think it's this bickering over the use of a word or over which issues we should care more about that divides us, not the actual movement itself.
Holy shit! Oh my God, the stupidity! I think I'm starting to get a headache. Do you not realize that it's the feminists who bicker over the use of a certain word and refuse to use anything but? Not only that, but they're engaged in a constant quest to figure out which problems are more important. That's the whole concept behind intersectionality. The women are more pressed than the men, therefore, they need more attention. But hold up, because black women are more pressed than white women, therefore they need the attention. And hold up still, because there are gay black women and they need the most attention.
Can I be a feminist? I mean, I'm not a woman, so... Of course you can! It seems like a shame to me that men feel like they can't identify with a word just because it seems to be linked to femininity.
And it also seems a right shame to me that you can't seem to let go of a word because it appears to be linked with femininity.
We need men in feminism to discuss male issues, but also to help men be better.
And we need more women in MRA groups so they can discuss female issues and help women to be better.
To be aware of their privilege and help us to make change.
So women can become aware of their privilege and help to make change. Do you see what I'm doing here? I'm doing this to create a parallel between feminism and men's rights activists to show your hypocrisy.
It's important that men don't try and speak over women about female issues, but it's equally important that women don't try and speak over men about male issues. Congratulations, Brad, you're a feminist! Feminism, not just for women.
Congratulations, Emma, you're a men's rights activist. Men's rights activism, not just for the men. Do you get it yet? Do you kind of hear how that shit sounds when it's said from the other side? A very important lesson for people to learn in life is to consider what it would be like if the tables were turned. When you're trying to make an argument to someone, it's always important to try and see things from their perspective. Being able to put yourself inside of someone else's shoes is fundamental when you're trying to argue or reason with another person. If you're not willing to take to reason and understand the other person, then you cannot expect that person to understand or reason with you. You cannot hope to change their mind if you're unwilling for your own mind to be changed. I'll leave you now with one final thought. Back when I was a kid, I remember the old timers used to have a saying, "What's good for the goose is good for the gander," and I believe this holds true even today. Well everyone, I certainly do hope that you did enjoy the video. And remember, until next time, keep up the fight against stupidity, wherever you may find it. Have a good one.
I hope this was informative to you as well as just Brad. I get that some people are just never going to listen.